Hey, y'all, it's Orlando. The views and opinions expressed during this podcast episode are those of the co-hosts and guests and not their sponsoring institutions. Now, let's start the show. Hello, Detroit and the world. Welcome to a special episode of Authentically Detroit, broadcasting live from the Zoom platform in partnership with the Audio Wave Network studios inside of the Stoudemire Wellness Hub, sponsored by the Ford Foundation and now the Skillman Foundation. We are also a content partner to BridgeDetroit.com. I am Orlando Bailey.
And I'm Donna Givens-Davidson.
Thank you for listening in and supporting our efforts to build a platform of authentic voices for real people on the east side of Detroit. And we want you to like, rate, and subscribe to our podcast on all platforms. We drop a new episode every week, so be sure to turn on those notifications. Today, we are excited to begin a partnership of that's new, that is sponsored by the Skillman Foundation, that we are calling Vaulted Youth Voices. And so that means every month you're going to hear a special episode of our podcast that is steered and curated by young people that we are working with. And today is the first day of that partnership, and we are excited to welcome young people on to talk about the media outlook on young people here in the city of Detroit, the narrative that the media portrays about young people in the city of Detroit, and what our young people have to say about that. So we are welcoming Nashay, Kayla, Donovan, and Jonathan to Authentically Detroit. Hey, y'all, welcome to the podcast.
How you doing?
Hey.
Hello.
Hey. So Donna and I are super excited to interview you guys because we know that this is something that is near and dear to your hearts and something that you all really want to talk about. But first, before we begin, we like to ask everybody, how is the day finding you? How y'all doing? Nashay, how you doing today? How you feeling?
Me personally, right now I'm really tired. I've been up since around 6 o'clock in the morning. I really haven't had my daily nap yet. So it's getting around that
daily
time.
nap. You get a daily nap?
Daily nap, yes.
Oh, that must be nice. I don't know nothing about that. Donna, do you get a daily nap?
I take about one nap a month, and it's
Right.
like really crazy. It's like, wow, I'm napping. So hopefully you'll be able to get your sleep soon.
I really hope
Okay.
I do, because I'm really tired. Like, because I'm
Yeah.
so used to like being always up and running, but right now, no.
Yeah, hopefully you find some energy so that we could, we really want to hear from you about the media portrayal of young people here in the city of Detroit. Jonathan, how's the day finding you? How are you?
My day going good, actually. I woke up on the right side of the bed. I'm just mad that I ain't gonna lie, I was a little bit late today. That's it, but as far as that, I'm good.
Oh, we're happy to have you with us, Jonathan. Kayla, how is the day finding you? How are you?
My day going all right. I'm really tired too. I've been getting up early all week. So yeah.
Tired young people. All right, we gonna figure out how to get these daily naps into the schedule. Last but not least, Donovan, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm actually energetic. I got 2 dogs. I got a new puppy, so I gotta be energetic. You can't be lazy with a puppy. So my day been going fine.
Good.
All right,
We're
so
happy to hear that. Go ahead, Donna.
you guys had a topic you wanted us to discuss today. Can you tell us what the topic is? And if you just remind us what you think is important that people think about through Authentically Detroit Vaulted Youth Voices today?
It's most certainly about how us teenagers or us youth are viewed in the eyes of the media, and the most people that interpret that media are the older people of Detroit, are actually the people, the generation under us that would interpret that media. So it with them interpreting that media, that bad view of us, it will make us feel some type of way about it because that's not how we look at ourselves.
Great. So how do you look at yourself?
I think most us Detroit youth, we don't look at ourselves as unfortunate or just less advanced as other people around us or these other school districts around us. Like, we know what we have going on, but we usually make the best out of any situation.
Wow.
I love that. I want to ask that question to some of the other young folks. You guys jump in. How do you, young person from the city of Detroit, view yourself? It's a great question, Donovan, how do you view yourself? Yeah.
Well, me personally, I don't, just like she said, I don't view myself as to be like a issued or a problem. I don't see myself as a victim, because if you see yourself as a victim to that degree, you basically saying that the person who is victimizing you is correct in what they're doing. If we see ourselves as weak, we aren't weak, so we can't see ourselves as weak. We can't see ourselves as so unfortunate and unable, because we are. I wake up every day and I'm like, I'm me. I'm a good person. I'm a great person. I can wake up and decide to do something great.
But Donovan, I have to say, I come from a long line of Donovans. They just called me Donna because they couldn't find they weren't having a boy. So I'm relating to that though. That's empowerment.
Most definitely.
Kayla and Jonathan, what say you?
I feel the same way about it. Me personally, I don't really feel like, you feel me, I'm an outcast or nothing like that. I feel like it just don't take me more and I have to do more to get to what I want to do and what I want to be and show people that I am not like an outcast. Like, I can do what they do. I can do what others do. It just might take me longer and I might have to put in more work, but I can still do the same work they can do.
Kayla, I really love that and empathize with you on that. Especially what you're talking about really is finding, a community where, differences are celebrated, right? And we all deserve that community. We all deserve that belonging. Thank you so much for that input, Kayla. Wow, that's amazing. Jonathan, how do you see yourself? It looks like Jonathan may not be with us right now. We're going to try to get Jonathan back.
I'm with y'all.
Okay, there you go. Go ahead, Jonathan.
What was the question? I'm sorry. I'm getting my hair done.
Our young people in Detroit know how to multitask. Let me tell you, Jonathan, the question is, as a young person here in the city of Detroit, how do you see yourself? How do you view yourself?
Okay. Like, to be successful in life, basically. Like, to have goals and meet my goals every year and stuff. Basically, for real.
I love it. You see yourself through this lens and view of what you aspire to be, and that is to be a successful person, and that is to be a person who meets all of his goals. I love it.
Yes.
I love it. So, Nishay, can you talk a little bit about, because you so eloquently laid out the groundwork for today's conversation about the media outlook and narrative about Detroit's young people versus what you know to be a reality. Tell us a little bit about what you are seeing and how you are interpreting the media's outlook and narrative about Detroit and Detroit's young people. What is it? What is the narrative? What is the
mostly the narrative I can say that I see myself is that, we're stuck basically with these Detroit teams. With, like, if you look at the amount of high schools that the city of Detroit has, and especially the east side, you don't see many high schools over here. So with that being said, with us not having many high schools over here, it's like, what do these teenagers got going on for themselves? Besides, sports. Me coming from a person that's a student athlete myself, I personally feel that if I'm not playing sports, what do I have to do with myself? What more of me do I have besides playing sports, being from the city of Detroit? And I feel as if that's the only outlook that they have on us Detroit teams. that they're stuck. They don't have nothing going for themselves. But the only reason they can say that we have nothing going for ourselves because there was nothing put into place for us to have something going for ourselves. On the east side, I can say that I can count on about both of my hands at how many high schools that we have on the east side alone. And with me going to like an exam high school, I'm not even getting that kind of fun. I wouldn't even say funny, but that kind of experience of me to even still have something going for myself. Like with the East Side Community Network, I had to reach out myself to find something to do for myself that's not getting provided to me. So it's something I have to go seek out for myself to do. Same thing with other teams.
It's interesting that you bring up the student athlete portion, and Donna, I would really love to hear what you have to say about this. The portrayal that you were talking about is negative, and the one thing that I'll tease out of what you said, that changes when a student is gifted with athletic ability only, right? We see then a change or shift in narrative to celebration because we have and a person who knows how to run across the field, throw a football, dribble a basketball. Is that what you are saying?
It's to a sense that's what I'm saying, because what I'm really trying to put with the student athlete perspective is that if you're not a student athlete, what else do you have going on for yourself? Like you really have to seek out something else besides sports to keep something going on for yourself.
I think these are historical narratives, though. The historical narrative about Black people is that we are strong physically and weak mentally, that we are not as intellectually capable or emotionally stable as white people. That's the narrative that justified slavery and that justified Jim Crow and other types of racism in America. And right now, I think, people say they're colorblind, but I think that the whole evolution or the elevation of test scores, for example, standardized test scores as a measure of intelligence and effort and achievement has really made everything worse. Because now when we say, how is a student doing? We want to know what their standardized test scores are, knowing that there's race bias in the test scores and also imbalance in how we invest in education. So we're not seen, Detroit students are not seen as intelligent as students in other communities. Do you think that that's an accurate assessment, or do you think I'm off base? Donovan, Jonathan, Kayla, jump in.
I definitely agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly because, one thing about how we are represented and what we see of our own people and what other people see of our people is like you said, we usually don't see, or we usually don't even get the opportunity to like show Black people in other fields. The primary fields that we see Black people in is either rap and music or a athletic career. You don't get to see, at least mainstreamly, you don't get to see doctors, artists, and other types of careers and choices that you can make. And I think that is very important. I think that children should know that it is not a one end goal. It's multiple avenues that you can go to, and it's multiple ways that you can find yourself. You can choose to have a job that you actually enjoy. You don't have to try to strain yourself to be what is perceived to be a good job. Like children need to learn that they can be a doctor. It's nothing embarrassing about not being a basketball player. They can decide to draw things all day. They can decide to do paintings.
One thing that comes to mind is this idea that school makes people intelligent. Like God did not make you intelligent. You were not born intelligent. But if you go to this school, it's going to make you smart. And I think of one of the most famous authors, most celebrated authors in the Black community, someone like Maya Angelou, who came from a very non-traditional family, whose educational experiences, at least I don't know that she was in college and what she did, and yet she is taught and studied all over the world because God made her what she is.
Yeah.
Her family made her what she is. Her culture made her what she is. It didn't make her who she was, the going to the right school. And that's a function to me of white supremacy that decides that white schools are right schools, or schools that achieve certain metrics that are carried by white people tend to be better schools producing better intellects. And yet I found in working with young people, and I'm sure Tanya would say this as well, that there's as much brilliance happening inside of our Detroit public schools as anywhere in the world. And we just need to recognize it and reward it and let people know you can do whatever you want to do. And don't let where you go to school or where you live define your limits. Do you feel as though when people talk about your schools, that they look at your schools as being inferior to the rest of the state? Need someone to jump in there.
Of course. I go to East English Village, so it's only magnetized at that school. Because the only time that you really see us in the media, it's usually bad rep, and it's just bombardment of bad rep on bad rep. And I personally believe that if you see something and all you hear about it is bad and bad and bad, there is no way you can get a good outlook of it. Especially if you have no interactions with it at all. The people who watch the news and look at certain things and just see it on the news, they never come to see it. They never get the experience of it. So all that they see is bad, 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 and they say, man, you know what, that's bad. And that's not the reality. It's good and bad and everything, and the good should be shown.
Yeah.
So people aren't really taking the time
that should be shown? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Donna.
Kayla, what are some good things that we should know about your school? You're at King High School?
Yes. Some good things for real. Well, I don't really know for real due to COVID, but a lot of good things that we do got coming out is like me being a senior. Personally, we have a lot of people in the building and in the school to help us with colleges and scholarships and making sure, seniors' grades on track, because a lot of us seniors at the beginning of the year wasn't going to graduate. So they bring extra people in to help us get our grades right and get to where we need to be so we can graduate. So that's some good things about King High School.
That the school is resourced enough to help, advance with the aspirations of the students. And Donovan, I also love what you were saying about what the perception is and how that perception can be dismantled if people would just take an extra step to come and just meet you and see what's happening. Donna referenced Tanya Aho, and I want to bring her voice into the conversation. Tanya Aho serves as the Director of Youth Development at Eastside Community Network, and the youth department has grown exponentially under her leadership. Tanya, talk a little bit about what you're seeing and how some of the programs at Eastside Community Network is providing an answer to some of these issues that the young people have amplified on the show here today.
Well, first of all, I think that the narrative is wrong, because I believe that that we work with world changers. I think there's world changers on this call. I have told you and firmly believe we will be marking little circles next to some of these names at some point. So people should remember these names. But a lot of the things, it's interesting, Kayla was talking about the college and career things right now. Because of COVID, Michigan's numbers as far as students going to college have really taken the hit, in part because college is uncertain, but also the process is really complicated. We just finished a FAFSA this week for one of our students, even though we've been working on it since October. And you can't go to college without the FAFSA, but it's complicated. You have to have the right documents, you have to do it the right way, and without guidance, it's hard to do. And right now, because the students aren't in school, as Kayla was saying, it's sometimes harder for them to find that. So one of the things we do, we call it Vault to Success, but it's our college and career access. But we have a TAC, and our students on the Teen Advisory Council. Sorry,
I was getting ready to say, tell us what TAC is.
Acronyms are our thing. So the Teen Advisory Council often works to amplify the voices of the youth. And in fact, our last sort of public presentation was at the Climate Equity Summit, and the students talked about, in particular, Stellantis and the things going on in their community. And the students on the Teen Council, in particular from Southeastern, pointed out that although they're right next to Stellantis and in my mind, arguably the most affected group by the expansion, because they spend 6 to 7 hours, at least when they're in school there, no one asked them what they wanted. They talked to the school and maybe the school officials. And when we started doing the survey, what we found out is they wanted a bunch of things that weren't on the table at all, that nobody thought of. I mean, the number one thing they want driver's ed at Southeastern. So I think that one of the things we're trying to do is just amplify youth voice so that they're in the places where decisions are being made about their environments, about their futures. I mean, the school, has advanced manufacturing and job offers, so that's certainly about their futures, without consulting them, as if they have no thoughts of their own or no ideas. Our students, they're world changers because they do have ideas. They know what they want for their own futures. And a lot of times, we talk about under-resourced. We don't use the word at-risk. And I think one of the things we do, first of all, because you can fix under-resourced, you can resource them, but we should ask students what resources they want. And that's one of the things that we're doing, because there is a way to get those resources. There's money out there. There's people out there, but I think a lot of times we give them what we think, or people make decisions about what is best for youth without ever consulting the youth or asking them. And all of our programming is like that. That's why we have a Teen Advisory Council. So there are people who come to ECN and are offering their services. They come and they speak to the Teen Advisory Council first if they're going to be doing something with our teens. And if it's not something our teens are interested in, then we don't go that way, because we believe that their voice is important. And I'm not 14 anymore, and I don't know what a 14, 15-year-old looks like, interests necessarily look like. I mean, I know from their point of view, but I can't just pull that out of my own head or my own experience. It's been a long time since I was 14. So we really value their voice and are trying to amplify it. I always tell people that my job is to get in the room and then to get them in the room and then sit down. So, which is exactly what I'm going to go do.
Thank you.
What I would love for Jonathan, what's something everybody should know about your greatness? What are you great at, and what should people know about you?
I would say that I'm great at being kind, helping people. Like, I love like helping little kids and stuff. Like, I love activities. There's a lot of things that I like to do, for real. I like to be all in. It's never too much to know too much, for real, for me. That's what I say.
Okay, Kayla, what's one great thing people should know about you?
I love helping people. I go out my way to help people. Now that's my weakness and my strongest point about me, because I help people, but I help people that I really shouldn't help also. That's because I got a big heart for it. I will always be there for somebody, no matter how you do me. I will always be there for you.
Don't ever apologize for having a big heart. We are blessed to have big-hearted young people in our midst. It's always a strength. And if somebody takes advantage of that, that's because there's something wrong with them, not your big heart. We love it.
That's right.
Jonathan, what's a great thing people should know about you?
Well, I see myself to be, I find myself to be able to excel in any creative art that I actually decide to put my mind to. If I actually decide that I want to do something and I take the time out to do it, given enough time, I will always find some way to succeed. And I'm a very open-minded person. I love to know. I love to know. Like I always want to learn something new. I always want to be in the know. I'm open to many things. You know, a lot of people say like people don't debate because they don't want to hear an opposing view. But I'm very open to hearing opposing views and actually communicating with people who don't understand what I believe in and communicate because I don't understand what they believe in.
That is a gift because I wish I had it. I don't. You have to show me some things, okay? I'm telling you, I can't handle the debate. We're gonna let you close this part out. Lachey, what is a great thing that people should know about you?
Something I think people should know about me is that I'm real optimistic. I usually try to find the good in everything and everyone. Growing up from where I came from and the family that I grew up in, I found good in everything and every possible situation I ever been in, from bad to my worst, from my worst to my good situations. I always found something to make out of it.
Listen, we'd love to hear it. And that is a perfect button for today's conversation. We want to let you guys know that at least once a month, you'll be hearing a podcast that is brought to you and curated by the Vaulted Youth Voices. And eventually they're going to launch their own podcast, and we don't know what it will be called, and we don't know what the focus will be. That's up to them to decide. But we wanted to end on the note of our young people knowing their greatness and cascading it out into the mediated outlet like this one. And so today's topic was Media Outlook. And what we are offering today is a counter as a piece of media to what traditional media has had to say about our young people. And our young people told you who they were by themselves and for themselves. And so before we head out, we do a thing, young people, we do shout outs, right? And so we want to give you the opportunity to shout out whomever you want to shout out. I'll start so you can think about who you want to shout out, but my shout outs are to you, Lachey, Kayla, Jonathan, and Donovan. We cannot wait to be in community and in partnership with you. And we so look forward to sharing this platform of Authentically Detroit with your expertise, with your voice, and with your experience. Hats off to y'all. Salute. Donna, you got any shout out?
I'm going to shout out Tanya. Tanya Aho has just been an amazing partner in this work. She loves young people. She helps young people, I believe, find their greatness. And when we said we wanted to do this, Tanya was right in there. Well, let me figure out how I can make this thing work, because Youth Voice is something that Tanya has championed for the almost 6 years I've been at ECN, and just a little over 6 years that Tanya has been there. So we're blessed to have you, Tanya. Thank you. And also shout out to Chanel for joining with us as an intern today and helping bring this together. I think Chanel just had to leave, but I really appreciate you. Now, who would you all like to shout out?
I want to shout out myself because I'm really happy that I got a chance to do the podcast. Because ever since I was younger, I used to always listen to waking up in the morning, listening to the radio. I'm like, okay, I want to do something like that eventually one day.
Are you gonna do it? We can't wait to get y'all in the studio. Any other shout outs?
I want to shout out you all for giving me the opportunity. I want to shout out Tanya and everyone at ECN. I want to shout out my teachers at East English Village. I want to shout out the staff at Legacy Academy, the previous high school that I went to. I want to shout out my art teacher from Legacy Academy, Miss Loomis. I want to shout out my art teacher from middle school, Mr. Hilly. And I want to shout out my family.
I grew up with your art teacher, so, I'm glad to hear you shout her out. Kayla and Jonathan.
I want to shout out everyone in this call today, and for y'all giving us the opportunity and chance to let our voices be heard. I want to say thank y'all.
We're so happy to have you sharing your voice. And Jonathan, last but not least, tell us who you're shouting out.
I shout out to y'all, for real. Y'all did teach me a lot today. A lot. And I'm very thankful for that.
All right, Jonathan. All right, there you have it. We will see you next time here. Oh, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Jonathan's sister. How are you?
We're great.
Good. I just love this program. I was just asking him how did he hear about it, and I was hoping I could get my son in it.
Well, we can certainly talk about that. You're live on the podcast, so a lot of
Oh,
Detroiters
I'm so
gotta hear
sorry.
this. No, it's perfectly okay. But thank you for listening in, and we want you to catch the wave. We'll see you next time.